Hi there. In today's video, I have another summer reflection for you. And the question that I would like you to consider this time is how can you inject more playfulness into responsibility? My name is Aishwarya Rajmohan, and I am an executive coach and speaker supporting women working in majority male industries with building the confidence to take their careers and businesses to the next level. I might have mentioned in previous videos that where I live in Sweden, I live close to a nature reserve, and a disc golf course forms part of that area. And I had never heard of this sport before I moved to Sweden from the UK. I believe it's a version of amateur golf where you play with frisbees instead of the typical golf equipment. And because it's the summer, the golf course is pretty isolated. But yesterday on my morning walk, I came across a dad who was playing, but he was not alone. He was pushing his pram with his toddler. And occasionally, it was very cute. Occasionally, he would hand over frisbee to his son, and then the son would throw about 2 feet away, and they would continue. And it made me think of the contrast, usually when I see mothers with their children, whether it's a stroll in the park or it's something, more hurried or rushed because they're getting their children from one place to the other. There's very few moments where I'm seeing women being playful or being present or even still. And there are, of course, lots of reasons for this. We have so much on our plates, but I think this is an important thing for you to really look at, whether you are a parent or whether you're child-free or whether you are not yet a parent. Because this thing that shows up, the hyper responsibility in women's lives, is not something that's isolated and not related only to being a parent. But you see women less able to be playful in many ways. We have to, for example, take our responsibilities seriously, especially in majority male industries, if we are to be taken seriously ourselves. So there's very little room for being light-hearted about what we want to do. But how is it really serving you? How is it really supporting you? And if you're on your holiday or if you are preparing for your holiday, I'd like you to think about this. You savor those moments where nobody expects anything of you, but how can you bring that more into your day to day? Because that is directly tied with your leadership skills and style. How good are you at delegating to people? I believe that a lot of responsibility or hyper responsibility that women hold, and I'm guilty of this as well, is because they believe that if no one else does it, it'll never get done, whatever the thing is. If you don't take responsibility, if you don't take charge, if you don't organize other people, nothing gets done. And that's the common belief, and that's what makes us hold all of this responsibility. But what would happen if we dropped responsibility? And I'm talking about things that are safe to drop for a moment. Wouldn't the others step up? So think about this, even if, this is outside being a parent or outside of work, even are you organizing lots of gatherings or meetups for friends, for example? Where else in your life does this show up? Being hyper responsible. Now, that dad could possibly enjoy that bonding exercise with his child, and it's not often a woman gets a chance, perhaps. She has more responsibilities to balance work and family during the normal work week. So, this is not a normal scenario, but what are the things that you can do to start bringing more playfulness into responsibility? Imagine a picture of you leading your team, and there's a really difficult challenge that you're all facing, and you're working together on it. Everyone's stressed. But imagine if you could bring some playfulness into the room, how that would transform the atmosphere. Because when everyone's stressed and really compressed, you can't be creative, you can't come up with creative solutions. So, a lot of your energy and what you bring to the table will influence and impact how your team respond as well to challenges. So this is a small quality that might seem irrelevant, but it should be something that you're able to draw on. That playfulness. You have so much better a chance of seeing a problem from different angles when you're able to step back from or detach a little bit from the seriousness of it. So, simple lesson, something to consider, especially as you're savoring, as I said, savoring your time over the summer holidays or your own break. Think about how can you bring more playfulness? How can you all have moments where you can be like that dad? Just be playful, have fun for a few hours in the week, and let someone else shoulder the responsibility for the moment. And it's going to take some work because if you're the one that does everything, there will be resistance. If you're the one that takes care of other people and takes care of everything they need to do, everything that needs to get done, see where you can apply this to your work life as well as your personal life. And I will look forward to hearing about what you discovered when you did this exercise yourself. Thank you for watching. Bye.